man, is she fun to watch grapple. I could watch that all day.
I mean, it's methodically beautiful. It's position by position by position.
Welcome to Iron Arena. If you're passionate about the world of combat sports, if you admire the journeys of fighters who push their bodies and minds to the absolute limit, then you're in the right place. Today, we dive deep into the story of Mackenzie Dern, a jiu-jitsu prodigy who rose to fame, carried immense expectations, and fought her way through triumphs, setbacks, and personal battles that shaped her career. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Iron Arena, hit the notification bell, and join us as we uncover the untold stories of Emma's most fascinating warriors. Early life. Mackenzie Dern was born in Phoenix, Arizona, in 1993, into a household where fighting wasn't just a sport, it was a way of life. Her father, Wellington Megaton Diaz, was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu legend, one of the pioneers of the sport in the United States. From the moment Mackenzie could walk, she was on the mats, surrounded by the smell of sweat, the sound of grappling, and the culture of discipline that came with BJ. Unlike most children her age, Mackenzie split her childhood between two languages, two cultures, and two worlds, American by birth, Brazilian by blood. This duality gave her a unique perspective and identity. Growing up under the watchful eye of her father, she learned that jiu-jitsu wasn't about brute strength. It was about leverage, timing, and an almost chess-like understanding of the human body. By her teenage years, she was already dominating in competition, her technique sharper than fighters twice her age. Career in MMA. Before entering Emma, Mackenzie's name was already etched into the history of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She was a multiple-time IBJJF world champion and one of the youngest athletes to ever reach black belt success on the global stage. But transitioning from grappling tournaments to the unforgiving cage of mixed martial arts was another challenge entirely. In 2016, Mackenzie stepped into Emma with the weight of expectation pressing down on her shoulders. The Emma world knew she was one of the greatest submission artists alive, but could she handle the striking, the wrestling, the brutal grind of 3 and 5 round wars? Early on, she silenced many doubts. Submissions came naturally, her timing was impeccable, and opponents often looked helpless once the fight hit the canvas. Her rise in Emma was steady, though not without turbulence. Some criticized her striking, others pointed to her conditioning, but Mackenzie's determination was undeniable. She fought in promotions like Legacy Fighting Alliance before making her debut in 2018, where she continued to showcase her grappling dominance. Over the years, her performances swung between brilliance and inconsistency, but she always carried the aura of danger, the knowledge that at any second, a fight could end if she managed to drag it into her world of submissions. Personal struggles. Behind the victories and highlight reels, Mackenzie Dern's journey was deeply human, filled with struggles that shaped her both inside and outside the octagon. Balancing her career with her personal life proved to be one of her greatest challenges. From an early age, Dern lived under the shadow of her father's reputation. Being the daughter of a legend meant every move she made was under scrutiny. Expectations were not just high, they were suffocating. Every win was seen as her duty, every loss as a disappointment, not just for herself, but for her family name. This pressure often weighed on her mental health, especially when the spotlight intensified after her UFC debut. Her personal life added even more complexity. Becoming a mother while competing at the highest level of Emma was no small feat. She stepped into the cage just months after giving birth, a decision that drew both admiration and criticism. The physical and emotional toll of pregnancy, recovery, and the responsibilities of motherhood made her training camps grueling and inconsistent. Many fighters crumble under that weight, but Mackenzie refused to let it break her, even when it slowed her progress. Weight management became another public battle. Dern missed weight on multiple occasions early in her UFC career, sparking harsh criticism from fans and analysts. To some, it became a question of professionalism. To Mackenzie, it was another reminder of the sacrifices and struggles fighters endure that outsiders rarely understand. The negative attention cut deep, but she faced it head-on, vowing to make changes and rebuild her reputation. Her marriage also entered the spotlight when she went through a difficult and public divorce. The emotional fallout from a broken relationship, combined with the responsibility of raising her daughter, left scars that extended beyond fighting. Yet through it all, Dern showed resilience. She spoke openly about her challenges, about the doubts she carried, and about the inner battles that were sometimes harder to fight than the ones inside the octagon. These struggles made her relatable, even as they threatened to derail her career. They painted a picture of a fighter who wasn't invincible, but human, someone constantly learning how to balance ambition, motherhood, heartbreak, and identity in the brutal world of MMA. Gym transitions. For fighters, the gym is more than a place to train. It's home, family, and sanctuary. Mackenzie's career saw her transition between gyms as she searched for the perfect balance of coaching, sparring partners, and stability. She spent time at the MMA Lab in Arizona, a respected gym known for producing elite fighters. But differences in style and environment led her to make moves in search of a camp that would refine her striking and conditioning while preserving her jiu-jitsu dominance. Her eventual decision to train at RVK Gym in California, under the guidance of Jason Parillo, was a turning point. Parillo, known for coaching champions like Michael Bisping and Chris Cyborg, gave her striking a sharper edge. This evolution made her a more complete fighter, capable of standing and trading with top-level opponents while still threatening submissions at every turn. These transitions weren't always smooth, but they were necessary chapters in her growth, both as a fighter and as a professional who understood that adaptation was key to survival. The downfall, 295-298. The years between UFED 295 and UFC 298 marked a difficult stretch in Mackenzie Dern's career, a period that some fans and analysts began to call her downfall. It wasn't a collapse in skill or talent, but a convergence of pressures, performances, and circumstances that created turbulence in her once promising trajectory. At UFC 295, expectations were high. Dern entered the fight as one of the top-ranked contenders in the strawweight division, carrying the hopes of fans who believed she was on the verge of title contention. But the performance revealed cracks. Her striking, though improved, failed to keep opponents at bay, and when the fight hit the ground, opponents were better prepared for her submission game. The loss shook her momentum, planting seeds of doubt both in her own mind and in the minds of her supporters. The aftermath wasn't just about the result. It was about the narrative that began to form. Was Mackenzie Dern truly evolving, or had the division figured her out? Critics pointed to her inconsistency, to her inability to chain together dominant performances, and to the ongoing challenges she faced outside the cage. At UFC 298, the story repeated itself. Dern fought with heart, but the spark that once made her terrifying seemed dulled. She absorbed punishment in striking exchanges and struggled to impose her will on the ground. The fight became symbolic not of her failure, but of the unforgiving nature of MMA. In this sport, even the most talented fighters are just one mistake, one tough opponent, or one bad camp away from defeat. This period was her crucible. Fans debated whether her best days were behind her, whether her grappling-centric style had limits in modern Emma, and whether personal struggles had taken too great a toll. But for Mackenzie, the downfall wasn't an end. It was a mirror. A chance to reflect, to rebuild, and to remind herself why she fought in the first place. Whether she would rise again or fade into memory was a question only time could answer. But one thing was certain: Mackenzie Dern's story was far from finished. Mackenzie Dern's journey is a testament to the complexity of being a fighter in today's world, balancing the chaos of personal life with the discipline of combat sports, carrying the weight of legacy while carving out her own path. From prodigy to contender, from victories to struggles, she has shown us the highs and lows of what it means to live as a warrior. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the story of Mackenzie Dern here on Iron Arena. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more stories about the legends and rising stars of MMA, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, this is Iron Arena, where warriors are remembered and their stories are told.